guys, for those of you who do not know, my name is Noelle and welcome to my YouTube channel. So you may be wondering, where have you been? You've posted like 4 videos, and in every one of those videos you've said you post weekly content. Yeah, so I lied. And I didn't intend to lie, but it ended up being a lie. Honestly, like truthfully, I got really busy with school, and I just wasn't doing anything like super duper like intriguing. So I stopped filming for a while, but I am planning to go back to school in the fall, so I'm trying to get back into it this summer, and then, you know, going into school. We'll see how consistent I stay with it this time. I'm not going to promise weekly content anymore because clearly I don't uphold that. But I am going to try my best to, you know, film the kind of important things in my life. The whole reason I started this YouTube channel in the first place was really for me to document, you know, important things that I thought maybe I'd forget about when I got older. So that's really the whole purpose, and I'm really happy to be getting back into it. So for today's video, I'm kind of gonna start getting back into the school swing of things. I know it's only June and I don't go back till August, but this was a video that I thought I was a video I had planned to film already like a year ago. So hence the title. We're going to be talking about what to bring and what not to bring to college. So for those of you who do not know, I was a freshman last year at ECU That's not the school. I didn't go to ECU Carolina. I don't know what that is. I went to East Carolina University, which is ECU for short. So forgive me about that. But yeah, so I was a freshman last year, gonna be a sophomore next year, obviously. But I would like to think that I did a pretty good job packing, even though I was only there for 2 weeks. So I don't really know if I actually did a good job, but there are definitely some like essentials and some things that like people would say, oh, like you should bring this. And then I'm like, why? Like I got to campus and I'm kind of like, you don't need that. So I made a list of 12 things you should bring and 12 things you should not bring. And we're just gonna run through them. I'm also going to attempt to put the links in the like description box below. I did buy all of these things over a year ago, if not like a little under a year, maybe like 11 months ago, something like that. But that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's get into the video. First things first, we're going to be starting off with the what to bring. And if you see me looking off to the side a lot, it's because my laptop is here. And it has my notes on it for what I'm talking about in this video. So I don't go off on like a splur. So the first thing is not just to bring power strips, but bring multiple power strips. So it'll probably be on your like what to bring to college like schools list. First and foremost, if you're watching this video, check that list. Every school has a different list most likely, but a lot of things are pretty like they overlap depending on the school. This video is mainly for kids who are going to ECU because that's where I go, and that's where my knowledge is strong. Or whatever, but anyway, yeah, so multiple power strips. So if you watch my previous videos, I think in my dorm tour I talked about where my power strips were and why I had so many. So I think I ended up bringing 3, and really the outlets are just in really awkward places in dorm rooms. And the thing is, maybe they're not, but they are, to the point that your setup of the room isn't going to be probably what the school designed the room to be, because you're gonna change things around and you're gonna work out something with your roommate that maybe doesn't work with the outlet. So you just want to bring power strips so that way you can plug things in. I know for ECU you're not allowed to have extension cords, which I also talked about in my dorm tour, but you are. I brought which actually I have it down here. Nor the cords, but this is like a super long power strip, and then this is what I plugged my fridge into. So yeah, that's super helpful. 2, we're going to be covering the bathroom supplies that you like definitely need to bring. So obviously toiletries, anything that you would normally use in a bathroom, don't leave that home just because you're going to college. But we're mainly going to be talking about a mesh shower caddy. So obviously on your list it's going to say bring a shower caddy. I'm telling you to buy a mesh shower caddy, and I'll explain why in a second. And the second thing is shower shoes, and I'll go over this really quickly because it's really simple. Obviously, you're probably planning on bringing shower shoes. If you weren't, please bring them, especially if you're using a communal bathroom. You have no clue what people are doing in the shower, and it's really weird if you're also putting like your feet on their feet in the shower, like all the dirt and grime. Just don't do it. But also, don't spend a lot of money on your shower shoes. Literally, I think I'm using or used like $1 flip-flops that I got as a gift, like as a graduation gift, like in a part of like a package. So literally, like the cheapest you can do, you just need something on your feet to protect you from the ground. But backing up to the mesh shower caddy. So I got mine from Target. I will link that below. It might be already linked in another video that I have. But anyway, the reason why I'm saying buy a mesh shower caddy is because not only is it really easy to pack, because it's small and compact, and mesh, so it is easily like bendable or whatever. But when you're putting all your stuff in, one, it came with straps, so I just literally hung it on the hook in my closet, or I hung it on the hook in the bathroom, and it was a lot easier. And then two, it can be washed, so you can just throw it in the washer, throw it in the dryer, and then it's clean. And then the third reason why I would go mesh over like plastic is just the plastic is really bulky. It can get really moldy and gross, like water can get trapped in there. So mesh is just easier. I know both my siblings, I believe, use plastic ones, and so I opted for a mesh one, and it's worked out great. Number 3 is going to be a 3-tiered cart or some kind of storage. So the one I got it from Target. I think it was like $35 or something like that. You've probably seen it before. It's also in my dorm tour video, but I'm actually filming on it right now. Like, this is what's holding up my phone. But it's white. It comes in a lot of different colors. It's sold in a lot of different places. I think it's at Michael's, it's at Target, it's at Walmart. So really, you don't have to get the exact same one that I got, but I do suggest getting something that you can put maybe smaller storage bins like on top of. So I was really like what I used it for was like my cosmetics, my makeup, my like perfume and stuff, my nails, and like kind of just like I kept food off of it or anything like that, but things that need to be in the same spot but maybe were too small to just be left everywhere. And then if you don't get a 3-tier cart, just some form of storage. The reason why I like my cart is that one, it wasn't expensive at all. Two, I believe that I'm really going to use it for the rest of my life. Like, I think I'm using it right now. I took off my college stuff and I'm using it at home now as something else. But I really like it because it has wheels. So it's able to move, and that's really great. So highly suggest that. Number 4, this is really for if you're in a communal bathroom, but I highly suggest that you get a robe or some form of covering other than your like bath towel. So I was really lucky, and my dorm was very close to like our bathroom, but I still used a robe anyway because in the morning sometimes it would just be really cold, or you know, towels are just, they're very easily unwrapped, and you might have to trek the whole hallway to get to your dorm or to get to your bathroom. So it's just easier to have a robe with you. Also, it works like if you're going to also be brushing your teeth in the bathroom and you're brushing your teeth, your shower, instead of just standing there in a towel, you have a robe. Number 5 is going to be a desk lamp. This can literally be any kind of lamp, but just in your dorm room, you're not gonna have that much lighting. There's literally the light like above your head, and that's it. They don't give you lamps or anything. So at night, you're definitely going to want something else other than that bright overhead light. So yeah, I got my desk lamp for I think like $8 at Target or something like that. And I think it's LED, so it's like super bright. But yeah, definitely suggest grabbing a quick, maybe you already have one at home. If you don't have to buy it, don't buy it. But definitely bring an extra light source. I also had hanging lights, but that's a part of like my decor that I put in there. But that was really nice for nighttime, because once again, that big huge light in the middle of your room is really bright, and you don't really want to have it on at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Number 6 is going to be, and this is kind of optional, see what your school is offering you, but I wrote on there a decent sized trash can. So our dorm did come with a trash can. I think it came with a trash can and a recycling bin, but honestly, because that will overfill really quickly when 2 people are using it, like you're gonna be taking your trash out literally like every day because it's not that big. So the recycling, we kind of just left that alone, but then I brought a mini trash can, kind of like maybe about this big, and kept it under my desk just because I have a trash can at home under my desk and I was really used to just having, you know, that right there. And then also I brought a bigger one, not because I thought I was gonna need it, but just in case. But I ended up using it anyway. So you might not need it, but that's just kind of like a keep in mind. Maybe your school doesn't give you trash cans. They might though. All right, number 7 should be on your school's list, but this is going to be a mattress topper. And the reason why I'm talking about this, and you're probably thinking I was gonna bring one anyway, but some people think they can kind of get away with it. And I'm just here to strongly suggest that you just go out and buy one. Even if you're like, well, I'm not planning on being on campus for that long and the bed is a twin extra long and I don't want to buy all this twin extra long stuff. I got to get sheets and a comforter. Like, why do I also need a mattress topper on top of it? Because the beds suck, quite frankly. They're really uncomfortable and you're going to be sleeping in that bed every night, depending on where you're spending your nights, but most nights you're going to be in your dorm bed sleeping, so it's really in your best interest to make it as comfy as possible. Is really the only reason to put it on this list. I don't remember where mine's from at all, but my bed ended up being really comfy and it honestly didn't even feel like I was sleeping in a dorm bed. Like, it just felt, you know, kind of like I did at home. Number 8 is going to be a desk mirror. So once again, this is kind of ties into something I talked about earlier. Oh, into the Robe thing. This is more so if you're in a communal bathroom setting. So with the desk mirror, I just mean like something little that can sit on your desk, doesn't take up too much space, preferably has a light, because like I said, you don't have that really main big light, but you're not going to have like a small like makeup mirror or something like that, or you know, something to just look at quickly, because the mirror in the bathroom is in the bathroom, wherever the bathroom is in your dorm. So now if you have your own bathroom in your room, then you probably maybe don't need a desk mirror. I definitely suggest bringing a hanging mirror to check out your whole outfit if that's something that you're really intrigued in. But yeah, so having a small mirror to do my makeup and to check like my jewelry and my hair and stuff, having a mirror, like a little one, in the bathroom where I had a chair at my desk where I could sit down, lay all my stuff out to do my makeup or my hair or whatever, was really helpful, because I definitely wasn't going to go to the communal bathroom to do it because it's messy in there, the counter's wet, so just get a desk mirror. So number 9 is going to be literally anything you want, but it's something to put your student ID card in. So when you're a freshman, this is probably the most important, I think. Probably as a underclassman and then up to upperclassmen, you probably need to have your ID with you, but it's really important for freshmen, because I know that most schools require that you have a meal plan and you need your student ID to get into the cafeteria for the dining hall for your meal plan. So I used last year, PopSocket makes a card holder thing to put on the back of your phone. I have a different phone, otherwise I would just show you what I had. But so I just slid my card in there and it was super easy because I always had my phone on me, meaning I always had my student ID on me. So number 10 is definitely optional, but kind of one of those things that you might not be thinking that you would use, and then it could be useful. I will say, full disclosure, I did not buy this specifically for college. I already owned it, but it's a chair cover. So if you want to go super comfy, go ahead, splurge, get a super comfy one, but the chairs in dorm rooms aren't going to be the best. A lot of the furniture in dorm rooms aren't going to be the best. It's used by someone different every year for 150 years, because that's how long the school has been open. So I had a yellow chair cover that matched my dorm theme in my room at home, which is funny because my room is pink, so don't ask why I had a yellow one. But anyway, it did make my chair a bit comfier in the summertime, especially when you're wearing shorts or anything like that, or your legs are exposed in your chair. It can kind of get a little sticky, so having a chair cover on your chair is really helpful. So once again, totally optional. You aren't gonna die without a chair cover. But if you're thinking, hey, what are some extra things that I might be forgetting? That's one. And number 11, pretty self-explanatory, but you're gonna want to bring a reusable water bottle. So when you go into the dining hall, you're definitely gonna have cups. to your like full, you know, cups galore, right? But when you're walking to class and you're walking back to the dorm and then you gotta leave again, it's just a lot easier to have your own water bottle. I know around ECU's campus we have a lot of the like special water fountains that like count how much water we're saving a day or whatever may have you. So I loved having my water bottle. I switch off between, I have it sitting right here, between this one and then my ECU water bottle. So I thought this was super helpful. Just wash it, put some ice in it, you're good to go. Okay, and last but not least, this is number 12 of things that you should definitely bring to college, or at least try to bring. This is going to be an ice cube tray maker. So you're probably thinking, how's that gonna fit in my mini fridge in my dorm? Which, fun fact, if you didn't know, if you're going to ECU gives you the fridge and the microwave included in tuition, which I think is really awesome because I thought all schools did that and they don't. So I was like, oh, that's a benefit. But anyway, it was super helpful to have our own ice in our room, just free to our disposal. There's definitely ice in the dining hall, but every single time you want ice in your drink, you're not going to want to go to the dining hall. So I just got a like mini, I got two set, I think it came in a pack of 2, but they're just like mini ice cube trays. So I think they make 12, but like they're small ice cubes. But it was super helpful. It was also really easy to pack because they're made of I want to say rubber, but I'm sure that's the wrong material. But basically they can bend and like move and stuff, so they weren't hard. So they can't break, which was really nice. But so that's it for the what to bring, and now we're going to get into the what to leave at home. Okay, so the first thing on this list is going to be don't bring too many clothes. I'm sure you've heard it before, and it's actually one of those ones that's either really extreme or like really not. So some people, I've definitely heard some people say like, bring all the clothes you want. You never know what you're not gonna wear, like what, you know, isn't gonna fit, what you need, da-da-da. You never know who's gonna ask you on a date, blah, 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 blah. Don't bring too many clothes. You don't have that much space. You can always, 1, buy more clothes, or 2, just go home and get the clothes that you didn't bring. Obviously, if you're like, this is my favorite sweater of all time, I can't leave it home, then it's gonna come with you, and then that's just going to be how you do it. So really what I mean by don't bring too many clothes is don't bring the stuff that you haven't worn in a year just because you're not gonna have the option to wear it. If you haven't worn it in a year, you're probably not gonna wear it. So keep the packing with the clothes to a minimum. 2 ties into number 1 very well, very closely, but don't bring too many shoes either. Shoes I think are a little bit more difficult for me, especially just because I have more shoes probably that are like shoes, 1, take up more space than clothes do. But if you can, try to keep the shoes to a minimum. Don't bring like your 50 pairs of sneakers. You're not gonna have anywhere to put them. If you are like a shoe fiend and that's a lot, maybe kind of go higher on the shoes, lower on the clothes. You really just want to make moving in and moving out and living in the dorm, which is a very small, compact space, as easy and as simple as possible. So if you can leave it home, leave it home. Number 3 is going to be do not bring extra toiletries. So I'm talking like Listerine, toothpaste, just like deodorant, lotion. Don't come with like 4 bottles of lotion because that's your lotion for the semester. It's actually, you're probably thinking, oh, but if I buy it like first, you know, like I'll just use it and then I don't have to go to the store again. The thing is, you don't know what you're going to use and what you're not going to use, and it's probably actually a lot easier to get to a local store than you think it is. And you might be thinking, well, what if I don't have a car, da-da-da-da. Your school will most likely have a transit system. ECU definitely does. That actually goes to our local Walmart, which is like 5 minutes away from main campus. So definitely just leave like the extras of things home. Don't waste your money on it in August if you're only planning, like if you're gonna plan to use it in December. Like when you run out, go get more. At most, maybe bring like 2 of everything. So I think I went with like 2 bottles of lotion, like a pack, like maybe 2 packs of 2 deodorants because I know how fast I use things. But just don't go overkill with how much you need to bring. Number 4 is going to be a bunch of snacks. The dining hall is there. And ECU actually specifically has a store where you can buy snacks. So I'm not saying don't bring snacks at all. It's definitely nice to snack in the dorm when you're doing like homework late at night, or you're up with your friends, you know, hanging out in the dorm and stuff. It's nice to have things in there that you can eat, especially because at ECU the dining hall closes at 8, which I'm pretty sure is pretty standard for like most colleges. Like they're not open till like 1 a.m. if you get hungry. But just don't go over the kill on the snacks. It's the same thing with, what was I talking about earlier, with the toiletries, expiration dates and all that stuff. Just if you can leave it home, like take what you think you're going to eat in the set amount of time until you can go to the store again. All right, number 5 is don't bring too many blankets or pillows. You're moving into school, if you're doing the full semester, you're moving in August, so it's already going to be hot. You really shouldn't be sleeping with like 5 different blankets. You're probably not going to need them. I know for me, I brought my comforter, I had my top sheet on my bed, and then I brought one throw blanket. For winter, I was probably going to bring maybe another one just to be really comfy and stuff. But that's really all you need. I know in my room now I have like 5 blankets, but I definitely don't use them all. I use like 2 of them. So yeah, just keep all the extra blankets at home. And also for pillows, my recommendation is if your pillows go past the second half of your bed, you have too many on your bed. I know you're probably thinking, but I want to make my bed comfy. You can definitely do that with less pillows. Like right now, this is a full bed that you're looking at right here. And I think I have 7 pillows. Yeah, so I have 7 pillows on here. So I have my shams, my normal pillows that I sleep on, the decorative ones, and then like one to kind of tie it all together. So at school, I believe I had maybe 4 pillows total. I'm not sure. You can go watch my dorm tour video to see how many pillows I actually brought, but just try not to go overkill on the pillows. Like if you're gonna have a long pillow, you probably don't need like 4 different decorative pillows. Number 6 is going to be things that you're about. So what I mean by this is that I really don't have any specific examples because it's just whatever you're kind of just feeling like, do I need it, do I not? If you're going back and forth of do I need this, do I not, most likely the answer is no, you don't need it. Or even if you want it, you're not going to use it as much as you think you are. So it's probably best to just leave it home, especially for that initial move-in. You can always have things shipped to you. You can always go buy them. So yeah, if you're feeling a little bit like, do I need it? Do I not? Maybe just leave it home. All right, so number 7 is literally totally personal preference. I'm just telling you what worked for me, but it's gonna be a TV. So this is kind of like, if you really think you're gonna use it and you really think you're gonna need it, and you have the space for it, by all means, bring it. It's really nice to have a TV in your room. I know with like my friends who I hung out with, they had 2 TVs in their room because each kid brought a TV. So like on one we'd be watching movies, on the other ones we'd be playing 2K, like whole 9 yards. It was super fun, really nice. Definitely during like the whole COVID experience, it definitely gave us something to do because we were stuck in the dorm anyway, because there was really nothing to do and like go out and do. But I know for like our dorm, we didn't have space for a TV. Me and my roommate last year, my roommate and I, my bad, were a little bit on the skirts of, hey, should we bring one? Should we not? We both knew that if we were going to bring one of us was going to have to buy a TV. Like neither one of us had a TV in our rooms like before to just bring to college. And I definitely think, you know, for an apartment, a TV is great. But for our dorm room, we honestly didn't have space for it. So if you have the space, if you really think you're going to use it, by all means go ahead. But I was perfectly content with watching like Netflix or Hulu or whatever on my laptop. Number 8 also ties in with number 7, totally optional, totally up to you. But maybe leave the gaming stations at home or gaming like systems or whatever. So the reason I say this is just because, one, unless you're like a full-on like gamer, you probably just don't need it. Like if it's kind of just something that you do every once in a while, oh, you're thinking, oh, if I have people in my dorm, it would be fun if we could play a game. Like, yeah, sure, but honestly, someone on campus will have one that you will know. Like that's just how many people bring one. I didn't bring a TV or a gaming station, yet found myself watching Disney movies and playing 2K every night because I met people who had that in their room. So you might not need it, you might. This is kind of one of those, if you really want it, go ahead and bring it. If you have the space for it, go ahead and bring it. If you don't, and you're kind of feeling, maybe I need it, maybe I don't, I'm telling you, you probably don't. Number 9 is going to sound weird, but once I explain it, it'll make sense. But it's gonna be books. So what I mean by this, I don't mean your textbooks. Definitely bring those, definitely read those and use those. You're paying money for them. Please actually open your textbooks. I was guilty of it last year, and then I realized I bought textbooks and then never opened them. This isn't like high school. You actually have to pay for your textbooks, so please just use them if they're helpful. If not, then don't buy them or try to return them. Anyway, for books, I mean like books that you would normally just read for like fun. Don't bring your whole collection of books. If you're an avid reader, like just leave it at home. Maybe bring a few books, but you're on campus with the library, so you really don't need to bring books with you. I think last year I brought maybe like 3 books that were kind of college based that, you know, if I was struggling, I could read those and get some, you know, information and get some motivation to get me through the semester. But do not bring like, you know, 10 books or 20 books and be like, well, I'm gonna read them in my free time. You have a library, just use that. Number 10 also ties in with the books, but just leave home like any extra hobbies that you're like, well, what if I'm bored? So I mean, like, probably leave home the board games. Maybe you want to bring like a card game or something like that, you know, but just don't go overkill. Don't have your own little section of, you have Monopoly and Game of Life and, you know, back to back to back, you brought like 4 different board games. You don't need it. If anything, someone probably already has board game with them. And 2, you can also just go buy it, or you can find something else to do. Campus has a ton of stuff for you to do, so you don't need, and I'm pretty sure some dorms probably have board games, like have a game room or something like that, where there are already board games on there that like the campus will provide for you. Number 11, also really self-explanatory, but literally do not bring anything on your school's don't bring it list. A lot of people think they can get away with it, and the reason I added this is because I actually knew some people that were like, oh, I'm gonna bring candles, and I'm looking at them like, what? That's a terrible idea. So if your school's list says don't bring candles, don't bring the candles. If your school's list says don't bring extension cords, don't bring extension cords. There's a reason why it's on there. You might think that you could get away with it, and maybe you will, but don't do it. I will say my school did say not to do contact paper, and the way I got around that was just by sticking the corners on, and then I left everything else untouched, so that way if anything were to happen, it came off really easily. Alright, and number 12 is going to be something that your roommate has already brought or bought. So you're probably thinking, why would I get a double? And really this just more so leads into communicating with your roommate, whether it be a friend of yours, a random roommate, or, you know, anything and everything in between. If your roommate says they're going to bring it, just trust them and, you know, do your best. If they don't bring it, you can always go out and get it. If it's something super major that you're like, we couldn't possibly share that, then buy it for yourself. But like for your fridge, like if your roommate says they're gonna bring the Brita, don't bring another Brita. You don't have space for it. So just trust that they will bring it and it should be fine. If not, then maybe pack it in the car, but like don't bring it up to the room. If they forget theirs, then you have yours, you know? So also just like little things like that. Just make sure you're communicating with your roommate. You're going to be living with them for basically a year. Okay guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. If not helpful, then maybe entertaining. I wish you guys, if you're watching this as an incoming freshman, I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. I hope that you love your school and everything about it. And if you're just watching it just to watch, I hope you also enjoyed the video. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down below. If you guys have any more suggestions, things that you maybe think I left out, things that you think shouldn't be on the list at all, let me know. But that is it. Once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video, whenever that is. Bye!